32 new books. What the was I thinking? Guys, I did it again. Oops. I didn't even realize as it was happening that I was doing it. And then I started piling it up just in case I ever got to the point where I wanted to film another book haul. And that point happened way too quickly. Oopsie daisy. We're back. Just about a month later with another 20 to 30 book haul. Don't be mad at me. Please don't judge me. I am weak. Weak, I tell you. I'm weak. And you know what? There were a lot of new releases that came out recently, so that is not my fault. This is not my fault. This is the publisher's fault. We blame them. So I guess we should just get into it. I don't even know where to start. I think we're set up. We have a knife, we have an energy drink, and we have a problem. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlie, and today we are here just about 1 month later with another massive, unhinged, out of control book haul. A lot of new things came out in the last month. So that is not my fault. That is on publishers. They did a real good job of squeezing all of my exciting new releases into a very short period of time. And you know, a girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do. So I did it. I did a thing, and now we're gonna talk about it. I don't know a lot about some of these books, so bear with me if the synopsises, bear with me if some of the descriptions of these books are pretty minimal. I'm gonna do the best I can. First things first, we have Book of the Month. I ended up with 4 books this month. It was a good month for Book of the Month. Sometimes they're not good months. This month was a good month. I got When I'm Dead. This is by Hannah Morrissey, and I do not know anything about this, but the cover drew me in. This was one of the October choices. It says, one girl murdered, another one missing, and a medical examiner desperately searching for the truth in the latest Black Harbor mystery by acclaimed author Hannah Morrissey. On a bone-chilling October night, medical examiner Rowan Winthorpe investigates the death of her daughter's best friend. Hours later, the tragedy gets even closer to home when she makes a devastating discovery. Her daughter Chloe is gone, but not without a trace. I really enjoyed the cover, so I'm excited. It sounds like a good time. I don't know when I'm going to get to it. I would love to be able to say I'm going to read it this month because it is set in October, but I have a very full dance card this month, so we might have to put this off for a little while, but I'm excited. The next book I got from Book of the Month is Starling House by Alexi Harrow. This one makes me a little bit nervous because this is the same author as The 10,000 Doors of January, which had a stunning cover, but could not hold my attention to save my life. So I'm a little bit nervous about this, but this is a gothic fantasy, I believe, and it is about a woman named Opal. She is an orphan and a high school dropout, and she takes care of her younger brother Jasper, and in order to create a better life for him, she somehow ends up going to this haunted seeming house. I'm not really sure, but I am hoping to include this in my haunted house vlog. I haven't heard much yet about this, but I'm crossing my damn fingers. Now this book I have heard good things about. This is The Unmaking of June Farrow. This is by the same author, Adrienne Young, who wrote The Spells for Forgetting, which I read last year, and I did enjoy it. I believe it has to do with a time-traveling romance. She always writes kind of like whimsical, like slight fantasy, but in a very atmospheric, small town way. And I've heard people saying that this is excellent, so I'm really looking forward to it. Again, I wish I could read it this month, but it might have to wait a bit. But I'm gonna get to it soon. And then the final book I got from Book of the Month is Jennifer McMahon's new book, and it's called My Darling Girl. I don't know what this is about. Let's find out together, shall we? Allison O'Connor has a picture-perfect family life in small-town Vermont with her husband Mark and their 2 daughters. Everyone is busily putting up holiday decorations around the house when Allison gets the call. Mavis, her estranged mother, has been diagnosed with cancer and has weeks left to live. When mysterious, increasingly terrifying things start to happen upon Mavis's arrival, Allison begins to wonder if something far more sinister is at play, and as her mother's final days spiral into a nightmare, she must decide just how far she is willing to go to protect her family. Now, Jennifer McMahon typically writes like slight horror ish type books. Children on the Hill is her book that she came out with last year, and I loved that. It was so good. It had to do with sister dynamics, but it was also for sure horror, or on the horror spectrum. So I'm hoping this will be too. I'm hoping I'll be able to read this around the holidays. So I am putting this off for a little while, but I can't wait to get to it. Moving right along, I did stop by Shakespeare & Co. to pick up episode 13 for my haunted house vlog. This was actually a recommendation in the comments of my last book haul when I spoke about doing a haunted house vlog. Somebody said that I should check this out. This follows a new hit ghost hunting reality TV show led by husband and wife team Matt and Claire. Episode 13 takes them to every ghost hunter's holy grail, the Paranormal Research Foundation. This crumbling derelict mansion holds secrets and clues about bizarre experiments that took place there in the 1970s. It's also undoubtedly haunted, and Matt hopes to use scientific techniques and high-tech gear to prove it. But as the house begins to slowly reveal itself to the crew, proof of an afterlife might not be everything Matt dreamed of. So this sounds right up my alley because it follows a ghost hunting paranormal show, which is something that I am constantly watching, especially this time of year. So I am very much looking forward to this. Ooh, do we have some multimedia? There's journals. Oh, this is fun. There's text. Oh, I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited. Oh, this is going to be a good time. I'm very excited about this. Then we have our Fairy Loot. This is September's adult box. The theme was Beneath the Mask. Can you see that? I really have to start getting to these books, like really. Oh my God, there's pink edges. Stop it. We have a letter from the author with a beautiful art print, and there are literally pink sprayed edges, so I'm very happy about that. Look at this. So pretty. This is called Son of Blood and Ruin by Marilee Laris. It's beautiful. Oh, look at the spine. Oh my goodness. It's even better naked. Look at her. Oh, she is definitely going naked on my shelves. This is so pretty. Let's find out what this is about, shall we? According to the letter from the author, this is sort of a retelling of Zorro. So that is exciting stuff. Next, we have some books from Amazon. I picked up All In and Bad Blood, which are the final two books in the Naturals series. I read the first book of the Naturals and I really enjoyed it. I love Jennifer Lynn Barnes, so I wanted to buy the final two books for the series so that I could complete that. This is just one of my many flaws, is that I like to have all of the books in a series before I continue with it because I just want to be able to pick them up as soon as I'm done with the next one. I still need to read Killer Instinct and then get to these two, and now I have all of them, the completed series, so I can read these ASAP. I also picked up the book Powerless because I have not stopped hearing amazing things about this. This is a fantasy romance. I don't know if it's YA or adult, but people have been comparing this to Throne of Glass. I'm very excited for this. I can't wait to get to it. This has been absolutely everywhere. Everybody loves it. Everybody says it is so bingeable and so swoony. And I think it's an enemies to lovers, which is one of my favorite tropes, especially in fantasy. I actually have been resisting the urge to pick it up this whole month because I have other things that I need to read for videos, but like all I want to do is get my hands on this. I'm so excited. Similarly, I also picked up The Prison Healer. This is the first book in a trilogy that is, I believe, already completed. So I definitely need to get the other two. This is young adult for sure because it says 17-year-old Kaiva Meriden has spent the last 10 years fighting for survival in the notorious death prison, Zalandov, working as a prison healer. When the rebel queen is captured, Kaiva is charged with keeping the terminally ill woman alive. Then a coded message from Kaiva's family arrives containing a single order: don't let her die, we are coming. With an incurable plague sweeping Zalandov, a mysterious new inmate fighting for Kaiva's heart, and a prison rebellion brewing, Kaiva can't escape the terrible feeling that her trials have only just begun. So these actually sound very similar. They both have to do with trials and competitions, fantasy romance, and I'm excited. I'm very excited. I know it's October and I should be reading all the spooky things, but I am so in the mood for a fantasy romance, so I'm trying to figure out how to squeeze these in very soon. I feel like we're getting there. I feel like we're close. We're not, but I feel like we're almost halfway. A completely random, out of the blue purchase that I made very late one night during Prime Day is a non-please. This is by Grimoire. If you have heard of Grimoire, this is a gossip account. It is very similar to like a Gossip Girl type thing about celebrities. They're completely anonymous. We don't know who this person is. They've never revealed their identity, but they started this gossip account on Instagram during, I want to say 2020. People submit random spottings and sightings and information, people that work closely with celebrities, people that have spotted celebrities out and about. It kind of blew up, and she wrote this book. It says, from the creator of Grimoire, the popular and infamous celebrity gossip Instagram account, comes a fun, charming debut novel that's the perfect combination of The Devil Wears Prada, Gossip Girl, and Smile and Look Pretty. So I believe this is like a fictionalized version of this account, how it all began. I meant to pick it up when it first came out, and I never did, and I completely forgot about it until it popped up on Prime Day, and I picked it up. So I don't know when I'm going to read this, but I'm definitely interested. I'm intrigued. The writing's probably not amazing, but like it should be a good time. I also picked up a new release called Haunting on the Hill. This I am so excited for. This is going to be in the Haunted House vlog. It takes place in the Haunting of Hill House, which originally was written by Shirley Jackson, and this is the first time that this setting is being used again in a new story. From the award-winning writer Elizabeth Yan comes the first novel authorized to return to the world of Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House, a terrifying new story of isolation and longing, perfect for our present time. I'm so excited to get to this. I want to read this sort of in conjunction with rewatching The Haunting of Hill House. I rewatch that and Bly Manor every year, and so I kind of want to read this while I'm rewatching Haunting of Hill House so I can like get the full vibes. I can't wait. I cannot wait to read this. Another new release that I picked up is Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison. This is her newest horror novel. I read Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison last year, and I really enjoyed it. This, I have been told, has to do with a cult. So that right there drew me in, and I love this cover. This pink is just excellent. So I'm very excited to read this. I am so desperately trying to squeeze this in this month in between some videos. I just think it's going to be a good time. And then another new release that I cannot wait for is Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. I have loved every thriller she has written. In My Dreams I Hold a Knife is literally one of my favorite thrillers of all time, and I really enjoyed The Last Housewife as well, which was her release last year. So I can't wait to read this. I actually have not read the synopsis for this yet. Ooh, did you hear that crack? That was a lovely crack. Also, fun color, just in case you were curious. Oh, interesting. This says, for fans of Verity and A Flicker in the Dark, Midnight is the Darkest Hour is a twisted tale of murder, obsessive love, and the beastly urges that lie dormant within all of us. A killer haunts a small southern town, and two outcasts, the preacher's daughter and the boy from the wrong side of the tracks, hold the key to uncovering the truth. Ooh, okay. The thing about Ashley Winstead, and specifically, I felt this way in My Dreams I Hold a Knife, although it was present in The Last Housewife as well. I feel like she does a really nice job of adding in a bit of romance into her thrillers, which isn't something that you always see present in thrillers, but I really enjoy the way she does that. One of my favorite parts actually about In My Dreams I Hold a Knife was the romance. It was so fresh and unique for a thriller, and I am hoping that that's the same case with this. The preacher's daughter and the boy from the wrong side of the tracks, that sounds like a romance that I want to get my hands on, but in a thriller setting, could be really fun. Okay, despite the fact that it is Friday the 13th in the middle of October, I did pick up a few books in preparation for the holiday season. I enjoy thoroughly reading Christmassy, Hallmarky romances during December. There were a few that came out this year that I was very excited for, so I picked up 5 of those. So let's just briefly pretend it is not October and it is December, and let me tell you about my Christmas romances.
Then you know it's Christmas with the snowstorm.
First, we have Snowed In for Christmas. This is by Jacqueline Snow, which, like, with a name like that, you have no choice but to write holiday romance. This one sounds so fun. It is about a sorority mom, which I thought was really interesting and very different, something I've not read about before. She ends up getting snowed in her sorority house, I guess. The person that lives next door is a sexy, grumpy football coach. Becca seriously underestimated this storm, so when the power goes out, Harrison Cooper, football coach Master Crank, and the guy who acted mega awkward after a steamy kiss offers her shelter. This sounds really cute. It sounds enemies to lovers-ish and grumpy sunshine-ish and snowed in at Christmas. I don't know. It sounded fun. It sounded cute. I'm excited. I also have Faking for Christmas. Carrie Winfrey wrote Waiting for Tom Hanks, and this is about Laurel Grant is playing house for the holidays, complete with a fake husband and kids in this delightful, charming rom-com. That's right. Okay, so she's a social media manager for Buckeye State of Mind, an Ohio tourism magazine and website. She has a twin sister, Holly, who has a farm just outside of Columbus. A misunderstanding leads to her boss, Gilbert, thinking that the farm is hers. And she ends up pretending to be married to Max Beckett, her nemesis, since Holly's wedding. I don't know. I don't really know what this is about, but it sounds cute, and I enjoyed Waiting for Tom Hanks. It wasn't the best thing ever, but it was a good time, so I'm very excited. Plus, I think this cover is so cute. Then we have none other than Tessa Bailey's newest book, Wreck the Halls, which, if you know anything about me, you know Tessa Bailey is one of my favorite romance authors. Let's see. This says, Melody Gallard may be the daughter of music royalty, but her world is far from glamorous. She spends her days restoring old books and avoiding the limelight. But when a producer offers her a lot of money to reunite her mother's band, Mel begins to wonder if it's time to rattle the cage, shake up her quiet life, and see him again. The only other person who could wrangle the rock and roll divas. Beat Dawkins. His name is Beat. Oh, good Lord. Beat Dawkins, the lead singer's son, is Melody's opposite. We have Beat and Melody. I can't. Okay. Anyway, the camera loves him. He could charm the pants off anyone, and his mom is not a potential cult leader. What? While dealing with rock star shenanigans, a 24-hour film crew, bawling Santas, and mobs of adoring fans, Mel starts to step out of her comfort zone. But Christmas Eve is fast approaching, and a decades-old scandal is poised to wreck everything. I don't know. It's Tessa Bailey. I'm gonna read it. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Then we have Along Came Holly by Cody Hall. This is the third book in a companion Christmassy series. It started with Nick and Noelle's Christmas playlist, and There's Something About Mary. I enjoyed both of those tremendously. I read each one in the last 2 years during Christmas, and this is the third and I believe final book in this little series. This follows Holly Winters, who owns a jolly holiday shop on Main Street. The only pit in her figgy pudding is Declan Gallagher, the owner of the hardware store next door. He is the Scroogiest man in all of Mistletoe, Idaho. Yes, that is their town's name, Mistletoe, Idaho. Declan can't believe the nerve of his oh-so-cheerful neighbor hiring him to set up her holiday lights display. Despite his utter loathing of excessive decorations, he throws himself into getting the job done, only to encounter sabotage at every turn. One rooftop kiss has him thinking maybe the season's traditions aren't as heinous as he believed. But how can he admit he's falling for the one woman he shouldn't want? Sounds fun? Sounds exciting? Sounds good? I'm excited. Then I have A Winter in New York by Jody Silver. She is the author of The Two Lives of Lydia Bird and One Day in December. And this is about a young chef who stumbles upon a secret recipe that might lead her to the love of her life. When Iris decides to move to New York City to restart her life, she realizes she underestimated how big the Big Apple really is. All the nostalgic movies she'd watched with her mom while eating their special secret recipe gelato didn't quite do it justice. But Bobby, Iris's best friend, isn't about to let her hide away. He drags her to the famous Autumn Street Fair in Little Italy, and as they walk among the food stalls, a little family-run gelateria catches her eye. Could it be the same shop that's in an old photo of her mother's? When Iris samples the last remaining batch, she realizes that their gelato and her gelato are one and the same. Iris offers her services to help recreate the gelato and soon finds herself falling for Gio and his family. I don't know, it could be good. It takes place in New York during winter, and I live in New York. Maybe I will read this in a little gelato shop in Little Italy this winter. We shall see. I honestly can't get over how pretty these all look together. All of the little Christmas books I got somehow all are the same color, like color scheme. This is just so aesthetically pleasing.
The leaves are turning brown.
Next we have an order from Amazon that I have not yet opened because it was on my doorstep last night. It came just in time. So first we have In These Hallowed Halls. This is a dark academia anthology. Some of the authors included are Olivia Blake, M.L. Rio, Susie Yang, David Bell, J.T. Ellison, and many more. I'm very excited specifically about the M.L. Rio one because one of my all-time favorite dark academia books is if we were villains. So I'm excited to read something new from ML Rio. A beguiling, sinister collection of 12 dark academia short stories from masters of the genre. Enrollment begins now. I am not huge on short stories and anthologies, but I don't know why. I mean, dark academia is right up my alley, and I would love, like I said, to read something from some of these authors again. I do actually have plans to do a dark academia vlog, which I'm hoping to be able to do in November. So this will be perfect for that. And it's very pretty. Next, we have a book that literally I want to say, who the heck am I? This is a nonfiction, and that is not typically me, but I could not resist, mainly because of the author and the title and the cover. I mean, it just, all three things combined, I could not resist. And that is Grimoire Girl. This is by Hilary Burton Morgan. She played Peyton in One Tree Hill. I have loved her ever since. She is married to Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who I absolutely adore. I've actually met him, and he is one of the most lovely humans I've ever met. The two of them live in upstate New York and have the cutest life together. They have a little farm. This is actually her second book. It's called Grimoire Girl, which I can't get over the cover, and the title is so cute and witchy. Grimoire Girl takes you through the step-by-step process of crafting your own grimoire. It celebrates the realization that you've been practicing your own brand of witchery all along. I saw an interview that she did about this, and apparently a grimoire was a tangible collection of a lifetime of learning that women used to create. At great risk, a woman recorded what she'd been taught as a child and added to it over the years. Like the grimoires of old, full of life-saving wisdom, these pages record the people, places, ideas, and habits that have kept Hilary alive. Simple spells follow each chapter and are clear ways you can add mischief and magic into your daily life. I don't know, this just sounds so cute. It's teeny tiny, and I feel like I need to read it. Oh my god, I mean, how freaking cute is this? And then we have another anthology, because apparently I've lost my damn mind. This one I cannot wait to read, and I'm obsessed with the cover. This is called Out There Screaming, and it's an anthology of Black horror that was edited by Jordan Peele. So if you know anything about Jordan Peele, you know this is going to be scary AF. The visionary writer and director of Get Out, Us, and Nope curates this groundbreaking anthology of all new stories of Black horror, exploring not only the terrors of the supernatural, but the chilling reality of injustice that haunts our nation. I'm very excited about this. I'm probably going to try and get this read this month, or at least some of it. Oh, Tananarive Due. Yes, we love her. I don't know, I'm very excited about this. This cover is just excellent. It's like bumpy too. It feels so good. Oh my god, okay. Can't wait. Can't wait. Next, I have a very exciting new release. This is Hopeless by Elsie Silver. This is the final book in the Chestnut Springs series, which is the cutest and most swoon-worthy series. This is a cowboy series. It takes place on a ranch, Chestnut Springs. It follows 3 brothers and then 2 friends of the family. This is the final book. This is about Bo Eaton. He is a military hero with a tortured past. The love interest is the outcast bartender, shy girl from the wrong side of the tracks. He says all I have to do is wear his ring, follow his lead, and pretend I can't keep my hands off him in public. But it's what happens between us in private that blurs all those carefully drawn lines. This engagement was supposed to be for show. This agreement, it has an end date. He once told me he'd never fall in love, and yet here I am, head over heels for my fake fiance. Fake fiance? Sign me up. I love this series. I love these books. I love these covers. I can't wait to read this. I'm so sad that it's coming to an end, but she did just announce her new series that is coming out. I can't remember the name of it, but it's going to be connected and in the same world as the Chestnut Springs series. She said that the lead in the first book is actually going to be mentioned in this book. So I don't know if we're going to meet him or if they're just going to mention him in passing. But I'm going to have my eye out for that. Next, we have a purely peer pressure purchase. This is all because of the reading sprints I was doing on Tuesday with Katie Colson. She's been talking about these books forever, but I never was intrigued enough to pick them up. But she cannot stop talking about them. She actually showed us a clip of her reading the 4th book in this series and bawling her eyes out. And the minute I saw that, I was like, okay, fine, I'll buy them. And I literally went on at that moment. They were on sale for Prime Day and I bought the first 3 and I don't have regrets. I don't know the orders of these. I'm pretty sure this is the first one. The first one is called the Thursday Murder Club. In a peaceful retirement village, 4 unlikely friends meet weekly in the Jigsaw room to discuss unsolved crimes. Together, they call themselves the Thursday Murder Club. When a local developer is found dead with a mysterious photograph next to his body, the friends suddenly find themselves in the middle of their first live case. They might be senior citizens, but they are cleverer than most. As the bodies begin to pile up, can our unorthodox but brilliant gang catch the killer before it's too late? These are the first 3, and then the 4th one came out recently, so it was only available in hardcover, and I need them to match. So I'm going to hold off on buying that. But I don't know. I don't particularly feel drawn into a story about elderly people solving murders in England, but I love being proven wrong, and just watching Katie hysterically sob at the 4th book made me need to pick these up immediately. So now I have them and we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. There were a couple of new releases that came out this past week or 2 that I specifically really wanted to get the Barnes & Noble edition for. So I stopped into Barnes the other day to pick them up. And while I was there, I ended up picking up a couple other things because I can't help myself. So what do we got? What do we got? Oh yeah. Okay. These were on a table of buy one, get one 50% off, so I had to get them. They are more witchy reads. It's almost too late for me to even fit these into a TBR, but they both were intriguing enough for me to pick them up, especially with them being on sale. So this one is The Only Purple House in Town. This doesn't sound as witchy as I expected, which I'm fine with, but it does sound super cute. So I picked it up. I also picked up another book called What You Gonna Do by Avery Flynn. This one, an unlucky witch and her know-it-all nemesis must team up in the first of a new spicy romantic comedy series. Sounds cute. Sounds fun. Sounds witchy. I don't know if I'm going to get to this year, so it might wait until next year, but we have it and it's exciting. Then I got You Again. This was actually a book of the month option last month, and I have seen it everywhere. For whatever reason, it didn't draw me in initially, but then I heard it described as a When Harry Met Sally retelling. Changed my whole mind, so when I saw it sitting at Barnes, I had to pick it up. Look at this cover. Look how fall it is. I believe it does take place in New York City, which is exciting. Ari and Josh first meet. The wrong kind of sparks fly. They hate each other instantly. Ari and Josh never expect their paths to cross again, but years later, as they're both reeling from an ego-bruising breakup, a chance encounter leads to a surprising connection, friendship. Turns out spending time with your former nemesis is fun when you're too sad to hate each other and too sad for hate sex. Until one night, the unspoken boundaries of their platonic relationship begin to blur. With sharp observations and sizzling chemistry, You Again explores the dynamics of co-ed friendship in this irresistible romantic comedy of modern love in all its forms. The cover is adorable, and I've heard it compared to When Harry Met Sally, which sign me up. Then we have One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. This is a fantasy romance. Similarly to The Prison Healer and Powerless, I've heard very good things about this right now. I think this is another like TikTok book. A maiden must unleash the monster within to save her kingdom in this dark, lush, gothic fantasy debut. Cool. Exciting and cool. Like I said, I'm dying for some fantasy right now, so that is probably going to be a major focus of my November TBR. 2 more. These are the new releases that I wanted, the Barnes & Noble specific editions. So first we have Cassandra Clare's new book, Swordcatcher. This is the first adult fantasy by her and the first fantasy that has zero to do with the Shadowhunters world. Welcome to an all-new fantasy world, forbidden love, dangerous magic, and a secret that could break the kingdom. Let the Chronicles of Castellane begin. Fun! The original cover was red. I'll put a picture on the screen. I don't know why, but the gold seemed fun to me. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'm excited to give it a try. I am not crazy about the Shadowhunter Chronicles. I enjoy enjoyed them somewhat, but I definitely did not read all of them, and I definitely kind of got bored eventually. God, this woman writes some long chapters. That is one thing that I'm not crazy about, but I'm interested. I'm definitely intrigued to see what she would do with an adult book and with a book that is not in the world she's been writing in for the past, what, 10 years? More than that? We'll see. We'll see when I can get to this. And then the final book I picked up in this haul is probably the prettiest one, in my opinion. I don't know, maybe, we'll see. This is another Barnes & Noble exclusive edition that I could not resist. I had to get the Barnes & Noble because look at this color. I'm in love. So the original is black, same exact cover, but black, and it's gorgeous. But this, I don't know why, I just had to get the pink one. I had to. It is so beautiful. This is Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. This is her newest release. It is set in the same world as the Kingdom of the Wicked, but it follows, I want to say, new characters from what I understand. Oh, and it is an adult debut. And it's a standalone? Hell yeah, girl. Finally, a damn standalone. Carrie Maniscalco makes her adult debut with a new standalone romantic fantasy set in her fan-favorite Kingdom of the Wicked world, about a dark prince battling an impossible curse and the artist who might be the only one who can set him free. So if you don't know, the Kingdom of the Wicked series follows the princes of hell. I believe there's 7 of them, like the 7 deadly sins. And this book specifically follows the Prince of Envy. I don't know. Together, Envy and Camilla must embark on a perilous journey through the underworld, from the glittering demon courts to the sultry vampire realm and beyond, while trying to avoid the most dangerous trap of all, falling in love. It's really good at writing romance in these books, but they also have to do with demons and the underworld, and they're very atmospheric. They're adorable. The other ones were supposedly young adult, although I did feel like they were a little risque. I loved the first 2. I have not read the 3rd book in that series, so I have to read that, and then I can read this. But I can't wait. So that is it. That is everything. That is the end of the haul. Let's see, how many do I have? 32. I swear to God, I'm not going to buy another book for a while, other than A Curse of True Love. Oh, and Iron Flame. Okay, I'm not going to buy another book for a minute. I'm not going book shopping for a bit. 32 new books. What the fuck was I thinking? My TBR is getting far too long. I am out of control, and somebody needs to stop me. Somebody needs to stop me. What are you gonna do? I have a very significant lack of self-control, and it is something I struggle with. We're working on it. That's everything. That is all 32 books that I have acquired since my last haul. I'm embarrassed, but I'm also excited. So let me know which of these books you're excited about. I hope that I didn't add too much to any of your TBRs, but if I did, I sincerely apologize. But listen, we're in it together, okay? This is just the life of a book girly. Anyway, that's the end. Thank you so much for joining me for another ridiculous book haul, and I will see you in another video very soon, hopefully. Bye! Why is my hair being so disrespectful? That's heavy as fuck. Is that even a word? What are words? I am having a hard time. And if you're curious, oh my God, this is gonna take all day. I can't get through a sentence without stuttering. Like, things are not going well. Can you see my address? No. I feel like it could not be louder outside. Like, stop drilling. Just stop. I mean, don't you understand that there are people trying to film book hauls? This is by the same author who wrote... I should have these answers before I start filming, but I don't. A city raised on the bones of Tenochtitlan. I don't think I'm pronouncing that correctly. None of this is making any sense. Tlazotsin. I cannot pronounce any of the words in this, so this is not going well. According to the leather. I didn't say what this is about. Do I need to say what this is about? Comes the first from the author. I fucking can't talk. In My Dreams I Hold a Knife is literally one of my favorite. They'll just be blizzard buzz. Tell me this doesn't look like David from Schitt's Creek. My nose is so itchy. What is this series called again? Y'all, I never remember anything. It follows 4 brothers as well as their best friend. No. Very final book on this, nope, not TBR.
Oops, I did it again. I bought some more books. I really have a problem. Oh, baby, baby.